Is gluten-free dieting a trend or necessity? It seems like over the last 10 years, the gluten-free market has exploded, and you see the little label on everything, gluten-free. So gluten-free options are a little pricey compared to other foods, but yet it's flying off the shelves. It makes one wonder if the knowledge of celiac disease has increased or if it's more of a gimmick. Scientist Alice Roberts from Food Detectives agrees that gluten foods is trendy and lucrative market, but the rise in the market is because people truly believe they benefit in their health from giving up gluten. According to the Celiac Foundation, it shares 1 out of 100 people are diagnosed with celiac disease. That does not include undiagnosed sufferers. The growth in the market is critical because celiac disease is a dangerous autoimmune disease that affects the digestive system, damage to the intestinal lining, migraines, dizziness, brain fog, diarrhea, nausea, abdominal pain, bloating, fatigue, and many other symptoms. And even though Roberts set up an experiment showing that those who give up gluten but do not have celiac disease do not benefit much from the change and can even unnecessarily increase their sugars intakes and decrease access to other nutrients and foods. It's clear that the growth in not only from trend but also in response to the importance needed to protecting celiac sufferers. You see, not only those who eat gluten experience all those uncomfortable symptoms. A documentary by InfloBase Information informs us that unchecked gluten allergies can lead to bigger problems like onset of diabetes, colon cancer, and osteoporosis. So here I am making broccoli cheddar soup. My household has one of those 1 in 100 members of the gluten family. So in this recipe, we normally call for a roux, which is a flour butter mixture. But being gluten-free in the family, we use either an expensive $12 bag of flour or cornstarch, which is a little more affordable. So people with gluten allergies need those labels. And that rise in the market so they can have access to grocery stores and restaurants that are safe options for things like soup you wouldn't think of. Author Amy Jones from the Diabetes Spectra shared that not only do gluten allergy sufferers have a higher risk of acquiring type 1 diabetes, but that surprisingly the allergy is hard to test for, which might explain why it has taken so long for it to become recognized not just as a trend. Patients who are tested must be constantly eating gluten for 14 days for it to show up on blood work. While it might be easy for you and I to pop in tasty treats, Oreos, breads, pastas, flour-based soups, for someone that is hurting from their diet alone, it is common for them just to give up and not want to return to the habit of eating gluten. So if you're thinking about adopting the gluten-free diet because it may be harmful to you, get tested before giving it up. The long-term effects of my finding is that gluten-free dieting is here to stay. While it may have peaked points because of trends, there are too many people that need this diet. And since it has been found that people without celiac benefit little from the change, I'm going to continue eating my gluten-filled diet. But that won't stop me from making yummy recipes that we can all share from those in my home that need to stick to the diet out of necessity, not trend.